When I look out at this church this morning, it is so hard to believe that we nearly closed 15 years ago. Those are really scary days. After a decades-long decline of people and funds and energy, the future here looked very bleak. Word on the street was that this church was dying. There were just a handful of folks here, almost no children. But there was a lot of fear. And many difficult conversations were happening about what to do. A lot of prayers, a lot of questions like, how do we grow? How do we raise money? How do we care for this incredible building and still stay alive? And yet the hardest question was this one. Does God have a dream for us? In this time? In this place? It wasn't a what question or a how question, but a why question. Why should we stay here, God? And that question took a lot of courage, and it took a lot of faith, because no one knew what the answer would be. And then, that dying little church did something even braver. They listened. And God listened. And they prayed, and I believe God prayed right back at them, and you all here are the answer to that prayer. First Congregational Church needs to be here because we are a beacon of light and hope and love in a world that is running short on all of it. We are the antidote to the toxins that have infected our culture. This community is the counter story of love to the destructive story of hate that is trying to drown us out, and it is trying to drown us out. When I look around at all the folks who gather here, I see the world as it should be, imperfect. And we are imperfect as we are. Because the beloved community is not about perfection. It is about being real. Real enough to risk compassion and vulnerability. Real enough to embrace each other with all of our brokenness. Real enough to hope. And real enough to see God in the eyes of one another. And it's a strange and a beautiful thing to be here. Something is happening here, people, and the best part of it is that it is not normal. And I mean that in the best possible way. On Sunday mornings in this country, it's not normal to have as many beautiful colors singing and praying and hugging together as we have here. In most churches in America, it's not normal to have families with 2 moms and 2 dads. It's not normal for the passing of the peace to be filled with tears and laughter and hugs that go on forever. And it's not normal for coffee hour to last as long as worship. That is not normal. But that is who we are. And that is why we matter. We've been entrusted with God's dream. That was the answer that we received. You have a reason to be here. God's got our back, but we've got to be the feet and the hands and the hearts that keep this body living. So this week, when you get all that pledge stuff in the mail, I hope that you will remember the stories that you've heard here and imagine the faces that you love here and feel the arms of God surrounding you just like they are in this very moment. And I hope that you will choose to join us in keeping this journey going, to get on board this movement of love that Jesus started, that we've been entrusted with. Let's keep it going far into the future because we've got a story to tell and the world needs to hear it. May it be so. Amen.